Welcome back, house hunters. In our video message series regarding buying a home here in San Diego, let's now talk about building the right team of professionals that are going to help you find, win, and buy a home here in San Diego. The first consideration that you're going to need to make is who is going to help you as your agent. You have many options, of course, and we would love to interview for the job. Some folks might think that it's okay just to go straight to the listing agent. Well, that's an option, but it could be very risky. After all, the listing agent is mainly supporting the interests and needs of the seller. I'm not sure that they can adequately address the needs of both sides at the same time, are you? So I think instead, a better option, instead of shopping for the house yourself without the help of an agent, or maybe just going directly to listing agents, is interview and engage a professional agent, someone who's going to help to guide you through the whole process on all the houses and help you to get to the cutting edge of the market quickly. Don't waste time. In San Diego, the best homes that are priced right are moving quickly, and you want to make sure that you have your best chance to win the right home for you. So it's best and highly recommended to interview and hire an agent. We would love to show you what we're doing differently that's getting great results for our clients, helping them to find the property that they want and often win out against many other competing offers. Let us show you how. Next, it's important to consider a local agent. As the market has shifted over the last, say, year or two, it's become increasingly popular for agents to say that they can help you so many places. But I wonder, do they really understand what's happening in the much more local market? Not just the county of San Diego, not just the region or section of San Diego, but down to the zip code and maybe even to the subdivision. Now, having sold over 800 homes here in San Diego County over the last 20 years, I have a strong familiarity with many of the areas. If you were to select a neighborhood or area that is beyond my expertise, I would tell you so, and I would recommend the right agent to work with. I wouldn't try to advise you on a neighborhood that I was not familiar. So, not all agents work with that same ethical standard or expectation of professionalism. I do. So just ask me, is this a neighborhood that you know well? Have you sold homes nearby? What do you know about this area? How does it work for me considering my needs and priorities? I'll be glad to tell you what I can, and if necessary, even recommend you to the right agent. Recently, I had a client ask me, we were working on an expensive property in Poway, part of San Diego, and they said, hey, Jeremy, can you help me up in Laguna Beach? Well, of course, they were from out of area, so they don't necessarily know that Laguna Beach is about 2 hours drive northwest from where I live in the central part of San Diego. So I had to tell them, look, I would love to assist you up there, and it sounds like a great opportunity. However, it's in your interest to interview and hire a local agent that really knows that area, that can really represent you best and help you to win and buy a property at the best value for you. Would you like me to refer you to a local agent? They considered it for a short time, and then they let me know that they actually had changed their mind about that and that they had preferred to stay in the neighborhoods that I had already shown them. So that was good. For both of us, they did succeed in finding and buying a home. Okay, now let's talk about the agent's role and responsibilities. It's true, a professional agent will make it look easy. And you might think, wow, I really wonder what they do for their compensation. Maybe they just open the door for me. Well, of course, there's a lot to it. Have you ever been to a Little League baseball game and seen the young kids swing the bat and throw the ball around? It's always fun to see that, of course. And remarkably, as you could tell, it's not so easy. And the pros really make it look effortless, don't they? Well, real estate is just like that. Just like in every industry, there are agents that are really worth it, and then there are probably agents that are maybe not so worth it. So interview the agents, find out exactly how they expect to help you and to bring you to the cutting edge of the market. Do they have the expertise needed, the experience? Are they familiar with the negotiating methods and techniques that you would like to see used? What's their track record like? And ask, for their reviews and references. They are available, and I'd be glad to show them to you. It's one of my strong strengths as an agent. So like a simple example of that would be like when we go to a property and we stand outside and we look at the house, we're going to take a look at it from the outside first before going in, right? It might be very tempting to just get out of the car and walk straight in and see what it has. And that's a critical part, obviously, goes without saying, of your enjoyment of the house. But there are so many things on the outside of the property that may affect the desirability and marketability of this property. What are the neighbors like? Right? We can't change the neighbors. We can't change how many cars are parked on the street. We can't change whether or not some of the neighbors, well, we can, but we have to concern with, like, say the neighbor's trees are overgrowing the property line. Well, these are the kinds of things that an experienced agent will notice and point out for you. Also, in some San Diego neighborhoods, we do have inspection-specific issues. So you could be talking about high fire hazard area, a canyon view home might need a brush cleared. Some of the properties in central part of San Diego, the mid-century homes built in the 60s and 70s, it might be time to line the drain lines in those neighborhoods where they have cast iron drain lines. And that's the kind of additional inspection that you might be recommended to undertake on a property to make sure that the sewer line is not going to collapse and that you're going to have sewer problems at a brand new house that you bought. Wow. So these kinds of experience and recommendations are going to save you a lot of time, money, and heartache. Next, finding a compatible lender. So most of my clients, of course, use a loan to buy their homes, and usually they take our recommendation about who to work with. Of course, you can use any lender you want, but many of my clients want to at least interview the lenders that I recommend because they want to have a smooth transaction and experience. Most of the lenders cost about the same. And so, considering that they want to work with a lender that I recommend that has the same priorities and values as I do, and it is likely to be compatible with them and their priorities. We also want to work with someone who's going to be available nights and weekends. So a good local lender that's a good listener and problem solver is going to go a long way, versus as compared to, say, you choose an online service or online lender where you really can't talk to someone and really don't have any personal connection. That tends to be a challenge because when you want to buy a house and you're ready to make your offer and we're looking for a revised approval letter with the current date and price that you want to offer on the property, if we're not able to get that in a timely fashion, it could put you in a disadvantage when it comes to negotiating. Furthermore, when the listing agents receive the entire offer package from us, one of the first things that they will do is read the entire loan pre-approval letter and call the lender. You want a lender that will pick up the phone, that will answer their questions, that knows you, that has met with you, that has gone over the details with you, and hopefully even in person. And through that type of rapport building and knowledge of you, they'll be able to convey that idea to the listing agent and maybe even tug at the heartstrings a bit and say, hey, please pick this buyer. They're a good buyer, they're strong, they're ready to close for the seller, and we have them fully pre-approved. So take a look at the local lenders that we recommend. They'll help you not only win the property through the negotiation, but also run a smooth escrow for you, fund the loan and the transaction with ease, and you'll be glad that you worked with someone local, I promise. Next, take a look at the recommendations and reviews online. There's many great systems out there for that. I would look mostly at the Google reviews and at Zillow. Those are the two main places that our clients, past clients, have written reviews for us. There's a few other online review systems out there, but I have not found them to be reliable, and I have even found them to be, in some cases, predatory. That means, like, for example, they'll leave up bad reviews and take down good reviews if you don't buy advertising from them. Wow. So these type of strong man tactics are unfair and have no place in the market. I think that you should mostly focus on the reviews on Google and on Zillow. So have a look at those. If you have questions about what you see there, don't hesitate to ask. Thankfully, I have a lot of strong reviews there, and if you don't mind, when you have a great experience with us, I will ask you if you wouldn't mind to pay it forward, because a lot of folks don't know us and they don't know what it's going to be like to work with us. Maybe kind of like in your situation right now. And so how do folks decide? Well, They look at the online reviews and they read them and they try to decide if they're bona fide and actually going to be useful to them. So please take a look at those reviews. A lot of my past clients are in a situation similar to yours. Well, to be honest, they didn't know me. They didn't come to me by, let's say, referral. But they did interview me and they took it all of the reviews and recommendations, and they made their decision, and then they placed their review online to pay it forward. Have a look at those. I think you'll get a very good and positive impression of me and my team. Now, we do work as a team at San Diego House Hunting, so you'll be working with a variety of folks, not just myself, but I will have a transaction coordinator that will help with paperwork. I mentioned the lender already. We'll be working with them. And we also have title and escrow helping us, not to mention our home inspector and termite inspector. So we have a lot of different vendors that you can use to determine the condition, the desirability, and whether the property that you're considering buying is really going to be a fit for you. So just be sure to ask me about any of these key points. If you already know that you want to have access to, let's say, a general contractor, maybe you want the property painted, new flooring, carpet, etc. I have all of those vendors for you, and that will make it simple and easy. All of my vendors, I think, are really solid, good companies with good reputations with high quality work and a fair price. They won't always be the cheapest, of course, but that's because I think they do their work in a high quality manner and in a timely fashion with a high quality product. So there are some trade-offs. They won't necessarily be the absolute cheapest, but I do think that they present the best value in the market, and they do quality workmanship. They never mess up because they know if they mess up on my watch, they're not getting any more referrals from me. So they're very careful and particular when it comes to improving your property, because they want to make sure that they continue to receive the benefit of the referrals that I send them. Take a look at interviewing my vendors. They will really help you. Communication and transparency is key to your success in a real estate transaction. You want to know what your rights as well as your duties and obligations are on a transaction. While you might only buy or sell a home every 5 to 10 years, we're working on buying and selling homes every day. So there are a lot of jargon and a lot of details that we attend to as real estate professionals that go beyond the scope of what you might consider important as, when you're buying or selling a house. So nonetheless, understanding what's important to you, asking questions, getting clear and thorough answers, both by phone and in writing, is critical. And most especially, my peeve, let's talk on the phone fairly frequently instead of text messaging. Text messaging is, of course, convenient, and I'll be glad to do that with you. On the other hand, when there's important decisions to be made or clarifications that need to be made that will impact you financially or legally, I think it's best to have a phone call, right? And so maybe I'm old-fashioned in that way, but I do think that that's the kind of service that you want and expect to avoid confusion, misunderstandings. Let's avoid those. Let's have phone calls when appropriate so that you get the most information necessary to make the best decision for your situation, and I can lay out all the options for you. Next, trusting your team's guidance. Myself and my team, all the different people on my team, will give you the best of our ability. And that does mean sometimes, of course, that we will potentially have to say or tell you some things that you may not want to hear. On the other hand, like any good professional, the most important thing is that transparency aspect and the communication. We want to let you know exactly what it is and what it isn't. That way you can make the best decision for you. So I want to let you know that how much we do care about our clients and their transactions, and that it goes smoothly, and that ultimately that you get what you want. So in the nutshell, the most important part in a word is just trust, right? So we will, of course, work with a spirit of teamwork and enthusiasm and positivity and working with you. And we hope that you will find everything that we offer you to be trustworthy, and that it will increase your confidence and satisfaction of the whole transaction. If at any time you're wondering if things are going right, or you want to have a clarification, or maybe to be honest, maybe you aren't feeling 100% sure, please just ask. We want you to feel totally comfortable and confident that we're on your side and working for your best interest the entire way. Next, let's touch about commissions and fees. So customarily, commissions for buyers are paid for by the listing broker. So in many cases, buyers have not had to bring any commissions because the real estate commission for buyer's agents has traditionally paid for by listing brokerages. Some changes are happening in the marketplace even right now that do affect and impact commissions. So some folks have thought maybe I can just go direct to the listing agent, but that's wrought with pitfalls, definitely not recommended. A better choice is to interview and hire an agent, and commissions are fully negotiable. Now, what I will say is that most of the time our commission, thankfully, is paid for through cooperation in the multiple listing service, MLS, and there's a specific commission amount that we're offered on each property that's listed in the MLS. However, with some of the legal changes and dynamics in the market, we are finding that some sellers are shortcutting the process and not offering a fair commission on the multiple listing service. If that were to happen, well, I'd have to be totally honest with you and transparent with you and share with you. The information on the multiple listing service is showing, for example, that the seller is perhaps even not paying a commission or an extraordinarily low commission. Well, we don't want you to lose out on a house that you like just because of the commission. Let's review that to see whether or not there are ways of taking care of the commission that will satisfy. Sometimes there are additional stipulations that the seller is willing to offer a credit to the buyer to pay the commissions, and sometimes we may be able to negotiate a better price. So worth asking, and I'll be sure to be transparent with you. If they're paying a fair commission, great. If somehow not, and right now it's less than 10% of the houses out there are paying unfair commissions. However, that may be on the rise, and some sellers may think that buyers should be paying the entire commission on their own. What do you think? Let's see how we can work together and resolve the commission challenges. No doubt with a spirit of teamwork and total honesty and transparency, it will work out. Now you've bought your home and you've moved in and you're excited about what's going to happen next. Maybe you need to do some upgrades or maintenance on the property. Maybe you're thinking about changing the paint, the carpet, or updating certain rooms, or even full renovations. Let me know about that. I'm here to help you with your purchase from start to finish, as well as after the closing. I'm proud to say that a large portion of our business comes by referral. So of course I won't be calling you all the time asking you who you know that's thinking of making a move, but I do love to hear from you, and I hope that it's okay that I keep in touch with you little by little, of course, season by season, just to give you thoughts, ideas, reminders, add some value to what you're working on, give you some inputs on how to upgrade, maintain, and fix your current home, and invite the chance, gosh, if you do happen to know some folks that are thinking of moving, we would be so honored to work with them as well. Referrals are the lifeblood of our business. Many of you watching this video will probably have come to us by way of referral, but some of you may not have, and you're just getting to know us. So after you've had a successful transaction with us, we would be so deeply honored if you thought highly of us, provided a review, and yes, send friends and family. Let's stick together. Appreciate your attention to the video. I'm Jeremy Katz with eXp San Diego House Hunting. Good luck and happy house hunting.